Good morning, Internet. Welcome to Morning Call for Friday, the 31st of May, 2019. Yes, May is almost over. How are you doing? I'm Fab from Hamburg, Germany. That's currently the land of complete climate hysteria. If you watch the news, you'd think we're all as good as dead. Well, I'm the optimist in the room. The water hasn't reached second floor yet, so I'm not panicking now. 7 of 9 is May is almost over. Is this a political show? No. Everything's politics. 7 of 9. I do love the hot take though. May is almost over. She is almost over, isn't she? You could almost cry. Galtern says hello from Brights. I've no idea where Brights is. Never seen that before. Can you chime in and tell me where that is? Anyway, hello Brights. Yes, I got some tech news for you. This is still a tech news show, although there isn't that much. I guess it's holidays everywhere. In Germany today, we have a Brückentag. A bridge day is what we call a day between a public holiday and the weekend, which most people will take off to maximize their free time, so nothing's happening. Yes, in the US, they also had holiday. Brittany. Brittany. Now I have to look this up. Brights. Oh yeah, that is right there. No, I don't want to look. Oh, is that French for the Bretagne? Why don't I know that name? Interesting. That is interesting. Is that like old whatever, something, some old language? I have no idea. Anyway, nice. I wish I was there. They got good oysters, got good cheese, got good wine. Anyway, enjoy that there, Galtan. So let's get into the tech news. There are some. The trade war is completely mad now. The U.S. Chinese trade war, mostly over Huawei, and as part of this, the IEEE. The Internet Engineering, it's the Electrical and Electronics Engineers, Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. I always thought it was the Internet something task force. No, that's the IETF. Okay, yes. So that's the US Engineering Association, I'm guessing. 7 of 9 has a lovely whiskey from Brittany. Okay, well, it's more the land of famous for wine, but why not? They make whiskey everywhere now. So basically the IEEE has a lot of, they have papers and stuff, and they have now banned Chinese, citizens from peer reviewing articles for IEEE papers. They're saying they can Chinese. No, it's actually Huawei. It's not Chinese. It's Huawei scientists. So they can continue to serve on IEEE editorial boards, but they cannot handle any papers. Well, that's great. That's brilliant. Meanwhile, the chat is discussing whiskies from the Britannia. Well, why not? Yeah, so that's interesting. I don't get this. I mean, this is science, right? Why would you do that? I mean, okay, there is. I mean, they're saying that it is because of the embargo. Because they're saying they're fearing, quote, several legal implications. But I mean, what the fuck? At least it's not everybody from China. It's just Huawei scientists. But still, I mean, there are, they do a lot of networking equipment. They're involved in a lot of stuff. You'd think, having that expertise would be good. And it's not like you're punishing Huawei because they can't edit any, they can't do any peer review. It's not like they're making money off that. Usually you do that to work together to improve. Usually it's on a voluntary basis, isn't it? Man, this is getting dumb. This whole trade war thing is almost getting as dumb as Trump. Anyway, some gaming news up front here, because this is big. Microsoft has announced it will be bringing the Xbox Game Pass to PC. So another move to shake up the PC publishing market, I guess. So the Xbox Game Pass is, like that PlayStation thing where you subscribe and then you can basically play games for free for a monthly fee. So they haven't said a lot. They said that it will be available on Windows computers. It will involve the Windows Store, and there will be over 100 games from 75 developers to start with. Now, Microsoft's own games, developed by their own studios, all run also on Windows. So those are in there. But these are other. I mean, this doesn't mean that they'll be porting Xbox games to the PC. It sounds like they just got PC publishers on board. So they've mentioned Bethesda, Deep Silver, which publishes Metro, Metro Exodus, which is an Epic Store exclusive. I don't get that. Sega, Paradox, which is quite cool, and some indies. Devolver Digital also on board. It sounds interesting. They won't say what it costs. So it's currently $10 per month for the Xbox, and you also get discounts. I think you get a 20% discount on the Xbox thing. So if you wanna terminate your subscriptions and you want to buy games that are included to keep playing them, you get a 20% discount on the price of the game. Zabata, hello! Zabata's been told me on Twitter this morning till 5 a.m. because he's standing by as a train driver, I'm guessing, and he's like on standby duty, and he was waiting for me to come online. I was saying that's a big mistake. Yesterday I worked all day through a public holiday, and then in the evening had a lot of red wine and played some Magic. Predictably, I was up a bit late today, and I'm just gonna finish some stuff up today, and then I'm gonna take the rest of the weekend off since everybody else is doing it anyway. Anyway, nice to see you, Zabata. I'm here. As always, you can count on me on being late with podcasting. Anyway, yes. So this sounds interesting. So another thing, but they also apparently said they want to keep publishing their games on Steam. Which is great. Which Microsoft is doing some really, really sensible stuff lately. I think they realized that the Windows Store isn't taking off, and they're not doing stupid stuff like Epic Games. They're just we'll keep publishing on Steam as well. I mean, sounds good. Sounds good to me. Why not? So there was an open letter published recently, an open letter to the GCHQ, the British Signal Intelligence Agency, who had said that they want to start spying on end-to-end encrypted messages like WhatsApp. Kind of like the German government has said as well, but they, this is an older, they already said that like last year, and they back then published a theoretical treatise, I guess. Like they had some theories on how to do that. They have an interesting approach which isn't exact. Well, it's a backdoor, right? So what they were proposing were like, okay, so you keep your end-to-end encryption intact, and if we want to spy on a user, then you will change their. So if two people are talking on an end-to-end encrypted messenger, the service will behind the scenes change their one-on-one communication to a group chat and add a hidden user, what the GCHQ calls a ghost user. And they will keep secret that it is now a group chat, and they will not show that ghost user to anybody. And by turning that into a group chat, obviously the ghost user gets included in the end-to-end encrypted encryption. The encryption is still intact, but they can read everything, which the GCHQ was saying, well, you can keep your encryption intact. So isn't that good? Now, this letter, the Register reporting on this, this letter signed by among technology companies like WhatsApp and Microsoft and Apple, the EFF, of course, the Tor project, also by some tech luminaries like cryptologist Bruce Schneier, Richard Stallman chiming in, somebody who I'm guessing has never used a messaging system other than IRC, chiming in on end-to-end encrypted messengers here. But good for RMS. Keep relevant here. So but they're basically saying this is crap. What you will be doing by doing this is you'll just degrade people's trust in the service. Which, I mean, this is the thing I've been writing for Heise and others, lots of stories about encrypted messengers for, pretty much 5 to 6 years now. And in every story, I have to tell people, I insist on telling people that while this is when you're using end-to-end encrypted messenger, yes, the service provider cannot read, if the encryption is implemented correctly. Ricardo's Mordecai Stallman, exactly 7 of 9. Good old RMS. If you want to know what that's about, go to deeplore.sixgun.org. So basically, yes, if the end-to-end encrypted protocols, implemented correctly, which first of all you can't be sure of, you'd have to check. Even with an open source application, you'd have to check, download the source, compile it yourself, check it to the binary you have every time for every update. Nobody's doing that anyway, but assuming that, the service provider can always still build a backdoor into that app. And even with an open source app, it would take quite a while to probably find that. It's a much higher level of trust when it's an open source app, because you'd imagine a service provider could only do that once the backdoor like that's discovered, they'll lose all trust. So it's harder to do if you have an open source platform. But service providers can always do this, and this is basically what this letter says as well. In the moment where a service provider does that, users will lose all trust, and it will be bad for everything. For society, because they will lose trust in encryption, because you're bypassing the encryption. They will probably lose trust in updates, because as soon as there's a story published, WhatsApp adds secret backdoor to Messenger with update, people will stop updating their software, which will mean they will have insecure software, which is also not a solution. It's just horrible, obviously. But I think we have to assume, with GCHQ pushing for this, with lots of politicians, not only in Germany and the UK, pushing for this kind of stuff, and solutions being published how to do this, I think we have to assume that sooner or later something like that will happen. So we'll just have to keep our eyes open and, do not assume, especially as a techie, do not assume that end-to-end encryption is automatically secure, because there could be shenanigans like ghost users floating around. North Face, some news. I don't know if Mega Slippers is watching. If he is, some news for Mega Slippers. North Face in a pickle, because they did something which I actually think is quite ingenious. So they had like this advertising agency. They're like, how can we get like our brand positioned on Google, like in the top spot on Google, without paying money for like stuff like SEO or even, more sinister means. They're like, okay, what we can do is we can take really good, amazing pictures of like the travel destinations, and we'll just, surreptitiously put our brand in there everywhere. That's actually quite good, because Wikipedia is always looking for images that people have given them under a Creative Commons license. Often they're quite like amateurish, so if there's like professionally produced pictures, they'll probably get into the sites. But what they basically did is they also changed articles and put their own pictures in there, because in some places it was quite obvious that there was North Face branding in the image. Yeah, product placement, as Harry Vatana says. Quite well done. Actually, nobody really noticed at Wikipedia apparently until this advertising agency. So this is they're called Leo Burnett TaylorMade. They're like the Brazilian branch of this advertising agency. They published a video where they said, "Hey, look, quote, how can a brand be the first on Google without paying anything for it? We photographed our brand in several adventurous places. Then we switched the Wikipedia photos for ours. Simple as that." It even added, "We hacked the results to reach one of the most difficult places, the top of the world's largest search engine." And now obviously Wikipedia figured that out. So as the register is saying here, Wikipedia is getting its own back. However, Liam White, the coordinator of the GLAM, G-L-A-M, I don't know what that is, Wiki Initiative. Oh, it says in the next sentence, a project that helps galleries, libraries, archives, and museums share resources with Wikipedia editors, said some of the pictures are lovely and are going to stay up on the site after having any logos cropped out. Yeah. Though it's, he said on Twitter, though it's Leo Burnett who are responsible, rule of thumb, if you have to explain yourself by saying you hacked a free volunteer-run project, you're the baddie. The pics are lovely, though. We're working on salvaging some by cropping the logos before returning to articles. I still think this is a great idea, though. They should have probably not have bragged in a video, but yeah. 7 of 9 says, does Rheinmetall do the same with pictures of Iraq? I have no idea, but you probably just have given them an idea. I don't think they're that up on digital stuff, but maybe something for Heckler and Koch. I heard they're struggling. Maybe they can just like have, I don't know, have their guns placed in photos of like some school shooting or something. No, that wouldn't work. Anyway, yeah, interesting. I bet we'll see more of this. I bet this has started a trend. Well, and then some last story. Ars Technica reporting on Russia. Russia's moon program. The Dmitry Rogozin. He is the director of Roscosmos, has in a speech said, laid down the plan for Russia to go to the moon by 2030, which, the NASA has like a part private program, the Artemis program. I think they want to have a moon base by, what was it, 2028? Yeah. And so this is Russia's plan, which people are saying is very unlikely because the funding for Roscosmos is so bad that they can't even like remove rubbish from their facilities. And also people saying that Rogozin is quite embattled there, that there are rumors that he'll get fired, especially after this speech. It's interesting. So, I mean, obviously, we're coming up to the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, and everybody's like, trying to position in themselves. The Chinese landed the lander on the moon recently and stuff like that. But I find this quite interesting. But I'm really sad by this, like by our regression in the space program. I recently watched a movie that's coming out next month, which I can only recommend. It's really good. It's called Apollo 11. It's basically just edited footage from the Apollo 11 mission. Just documentary footage, and it's just re-edited. All the there's really no commentary over it. It's just basically Capcom communications and like the countdown, the launch. They had this, at the launch they had this like thing where like the mission control center, because there were people outside Cape Canaveral, and they were updating them on what was going on, and it's basically just that. And then when they're on the flight to the moon, it's just like the communications with ground control, and it's really well done. If you get a chance to see that movie, it's amazing. It's I mean, lots of the footage you probably will have seen. We watched a lot of that in school, for example, but it's the closest thing you can get when you're my age to actually being alive and watching it in the 60s. And it's really amazing on the big screen and stuff. But the thing that has hit me is just like how we haven't progressed pretty much since the 60s. In some cases, even like regressed, right? Some of the stuff. I mean, they were working now on how to get back to the moon. Like if you would say, let's do it in 10 years, like Kennedy did. I'm not sure we would be able to. I'm not quite sure if it's only a matter of resources and nobody wants to do it. But it's quite humbling in a way. It's been 50 years and we haven't really progressed in that regard as a species. The only thing we're doing is like shooting electric cars into space, so that they will eventually hit like some alien battle cruiser, and then will come visiting, and we are not prepared. I don't know. Thought this is really interesting. At least there are plans. The Russians apparently have plans. NASA has plans. We'll see. I just hope it won't be down to like Elon Musk, because I don't trust that guy. I don't want that guy to control space. I don't think that would be a good idea. Anyway, that's it from me for today. There wasn't much more interesting I could find this morning, and I'll be heading into the bridge day now, and I'll see you next Monday with some more tech news. Until then, I hope you have a good time. I hope you're doing good. Enjoy the whiskey in Brittany, Galtaran, and everybody else. Just have a nice weekend. See you on Monday. Goodbye.